Gwrando pawb, croeso yn cyfarfod. Good afternoon, my name is Councillor Hannah Fleet. I'm the Chair of the Education and Skills Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Can I welcome everyone to the meeting? And this is a multi-location meeting. The meeting will be live streamed and recorded and will be available for viewing after the meeting. Should the live streaming fail, the meeting will continue and a recording will be available through the Council's website following the conclusion of the meeting. Can I remind members that translation facilities are available, and for those attending remotely to choose your language of choice. For those wishing to speak in the chamber, please raise your hand. For those attending remotely, please use the raise hand function. We will alternate between speakers in the chamber and remote attendees. For those attending remotely, please note that those in the chamber will be unable to use the chat facility. Committee members who are attending remotely are required to leave their camera on throughout the debate and when voting in order to maintain the integrity of the decision-making process. If you do need to leave the meeting temporarily, please pop a message in the chat function so the Democratic Services Officer is aware and then let us know when you return. I expect everyone present and participating in this meeting to conduct themselves appropriately and be respectful to each other. And that applies to members, officers, and anyone in the public gallery. When I open the debate to members, I will ask committee members to speak and put their questions first, followed by non-committee members. Whilst I do not wish to stifle debate, can I remind members that any questions should be focused on the subject matter and please avoid repetition. If I feel the length of individual speeches are negatively impacting on the overall time for discussion and becoming unmanageable, I will defer to the committee's rules of procedure. First of all, item 1, appointment of the Vice Chair. Do I have any nominations for the Vice Chair of this committee? Thank you, Councillor Dilwyn. We have Gwenol nominated. Thank you, too fast for me to get my translation on there. Do I have a seconder for Councillor Gwenol to be nominated here? Councillor Chris Brockley, I can see there are hands up, thank you. And could we have a show of, do I have any other nominations? Could I have a show of hands then for Gwenol? Thank you. Gwenol, would you like to come and join us up here? Or you can stay there if you wish. Yeah, okay. So thank you very much. So Gwenol has been appointed as our Vice Chair. Congratulations, thank you. Item 2, apologies for absence. Committee Officer Sally is going to advise of any apologies.
Yeah, apologies have been received from Councillor Frank Bradfield and also co-opted member Ros Harrison. I've also had a message from Councillor Ros Griffiths-Williams to say she'll be late joining the meeting today.
Thank you, Councillor Kay.
Hi, I've just come from a RLDP meeting, which I know Councillor Ivor Lloyd is in. I think he's on this committee as well. He's chairing that one, so it hasn't finished yet. So whether he'll be joining late, I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll add him to the list. Thank you. Any others? Okay. So item 3 is declarations of interest. And I'm to remind you that you must declare the nature of your declared personal interest. Do we have anyone that has any declarations of interest for the agenda today? Okay.
Just declaring, I don't think I'll need to. I used to be a governor at Trosolwg and Mockford, but that was over 10 years ago, so I don't see that.
Thank you very much. So item 4 is urgent matters. Do we have any urgent matters? No. Thank you. So I do have something that I do want to add in at this point because we've just had this letter. So recently we had the annual risk and assurances workshop that was held with Estin during March, and there's a very positive letter been sent in which we felt was good to share with the committee. So I'm just going to read it out. This has come from Tristan, who is Tristan Roberts, who's the His Majesty's Inspector of Education and Training and liaises with us. Thank you for engaging positively in our discussions prior to and during the recent Risk and Assurances workshop. I'm writing to outline the assurances and risks we discussed during that workshop, which are based on our work with the local authority over the last year. We highlighted the following assurances. Knowledge of individual schools. The local authority knows its schools well. There is a strong relationship with the regional consortium. Officers receive valuable information from school improvement partners. Overall, they use this information to provide schools with the required level of support and challenge. Clear vision and strategic planning across services. Through our link inspector work, it is clear that the Chief Education Officer provides valuable strategic direction for other officers and elected members. This includes ensuring that services work together effectively for the benefit of pupils and their families. Performance of schools, settings and the PRU. Since we resumed inspections, outcomes have been mainly positive. During 21-22, 18 providers were inspected, with no follow-up activity required for 14 of them. In addition, inspection outcomes in the year running up to the COVID-19 pandemic were generally positive. One school made sufficient progress to be removed from a statutory category. The support provided by the local authority was a contributory factor. Social inclusion services. Our link visits to the family centres demonstrated the well-considered support provided by the local authority for vulnerable learners and their families. Elected members. The elected members challenge the work of the local authority well. They provide a suitable balance of support and challenge to ensure accountability and to test key decisions. Members in key roles with regards to education benefit from being upskilled and informed on current matters, such as recent discussions about the Relationships and Sexuality Education Code. Welsh in education. The local authority has a clear vision for developing Welsh language education, as noted in its Welsh in Education Strategic Plan. The local authority understands that improving provision in English medium schools to support pupils to speak Welsh is a key strand in its strategy, and there is strong support for realising the vision for Welsh education from the new Chief Executive Officer and Cabinet Member for Education. We also highlighted the following risks that we feel you should consider as part of your improvement planning. Self-evaluation school performance. In the absence of published data due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has become more challenging for the local authority to track the performance of its secondary schools. The local authority is likely to want to consider recent Welsh Government guidance on this matter to ensure that schools use data to evaluate their own performance suitably. Providers placed into follow-up category. During the 21-22 academic year, 4 providers were placed into follow-up categories as a result of our inspection activity. They included 1 secondary school, 1 primary, and 2 non-maintained settings. Continuation of services in the financial climate. Senior officers and elected members remain committed to protecting the education budget as far as possible. There are robust financial management procedures in place. However, it is clear that the Education Service faces challenges to deliver all required services because of the current financial restraints. Kind regards, Tristan Roberts. I think overall that's pretty good. I think we should be quite proud of that. So thank you very much to everybody that's been involved in that. And congratulations. If I can give my congratulations on behalf of this committee, then that's a pretty good letter there. Thank you. Do you have any comments that people want to give? No, I think that means we're pretty happy. Thank you very much. So moving on, item 5 is the minutes. To approve and sign as a record, the correct record, minutes of the previous meetings. So we've got the 18th of April, 2023, which are pages 3 to 6 in your pack. Could I have someone to propose that they are correct, they're a correct record? Thank you, Councillor Grenell. And can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor, is that Keith, I think? Keith there, thank you. And could I have a show of hands then? Thank you, that's passed. Thank you very much for that. Item 6, minutes of the school budget forum, and this is to note the minutes from the meeting on the 29th of the 3rd, 23. Could I have a proposer to note those meeting minutes, please? Thank you, Councillor Kay, and a seconder, Councillor Joe. Thank you very much. Can I have a show of hands, please? Thank you very much. Item 7 was questions to Cabinet members, and I'm not aware of any questions. So item 8 is to review the forward work programme. So please can I remind members that they only raise topics that relate to the remit of this committee. If committee members have any items that they wish to see on the forward work programme, can I ask that they email the Scrutiny and Committee Services Officer with the relevant scrutiny topic form, which can then be considered against the approved prioritisation criteria in the appropriate manner. Dawn Hughes can't be with us today, but I have an update from her on the forward work programme. So I'll just read out what she's sent in. The forward work programme has been updated following consultation with heads of service and members. The only change that she is aware of is that the report on sustainable communities for learning has been moved from July to September, as officers are awaiting information from the Welsh Government that's pertinent to that. Okay. Do I have any questions regarding the forward work programme? Any comments? No. So can I ask for a proposer to agree the forward work programme, please? Thank you to Councillor Joe, and I've got Councillor Keith seconding that. So thank you very much for that. Can we have a show of hands, please? That's lovely. That's passed. Thank you. Okay, we're now going to switch things about a bit, just for a bit of excitement. So we're going to do item 9B before item 9A, because one of our officers has to leave. Okay, so item 9B is the consultation on the proposed amalgamation of Ysgol Babanod Mochtra and Ysgol Custennin. Councillor Julie Fallon is not here, so okay, so I'm going to ask our Education Officer Lily to introduce the report, and we've also got John Davis, Strategic Manager for Education, Property and Site Manager here as well. So I will move over to both of you. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr Cadeirydd, a dwi am gyflwyno drwy'r gyfrwng y Gymraeg, felly os da chi eisiau roid eich teclynna ymlaen. Felly, diolch yn fawr iawn Cadeirydd, fel y gwyddoch chi, Dr Lowry Brown, dwi pennaeth gwasanaeth addysg, a pwrpas yr adroddiad prynhawn yma ydy ceisio cymeradwyaeth aelodau i ymgynghori ar y bwriad i uno Ysgol Babanod Mochtra ac Ysgol Custennin yn un ysgol ar gyfer Mochtra. Fydd yr ysgolion yn aros ar safleoedd y ddwy ysgol bresennol, ond yn gweithredu o dan un bwrdd llywodraethol ac yr un strwythur rheoli. Fydd gennyn nhw un datganiad cenhadaeth, un set o werthoedd ysgol, logos, gwisg ysgol, polisïau ac wrth gwrs gweithdrefnau. Mae swyddogion addysg a ni fel tîm wedi cyfarfod gyda y llywodraethwyr ac maen nhw'n hynod o gefnogol i'r cynnig yma ac i'r ymgynghoriad fynd yn ei flaen. Felly dwi am basio rwan drosodd i John, fydd yn eich tywys chi drwy'r papur a wedyn fydd yna gyfle i ofyn unrhyw cwestiynau neu unrhyw sylwadau. Diolch yn fawr Cadeirydd.
Diolch Lowry, thank you Chair. Dwi'n hapus i ateb unrhyw gwestiynau yn Gymraeg neu Saesneg. As Lowry mentioned, just to go through some of the summary and the key points of the paper today, the purpose of the report is to seek Cabinet approval to start to consult on the proposed amalgamation of Ysgol Babanod Mochtra and Ysgol Custennin. The proposal is to formally amalgamate Babanod Mochtra and Ysgol Custennin as one school for Mochtra. The schools have been federalised since March 2017 under the leadership of the current head teacher and governing body. The recommendation on the paper states that the Education and Skills Overview and Scrutiny Committee scrutinises the report and makes comments and suggestions, and that Cabinet agreed to proceed to consultation which proposes to formally amalgamate both schools, Mochtra and Custennin, as one. The draft timeline. In line with Welsh Government School Organisation Code 2018, the proposed consultation will commence the week commencing the 19th of June 2023, to allow for the minimum of 42 days, including 20 school days for responses. If approval is received, the consultation document that will be published week commencing 19th of June will include the proposal, which is the amalgamation, details of the schools, including past and projected pupil numbers, current staffing structure, any admission or catchment amendments, quality and standards in education, curriculum and Estyn inspection comments and reports, finance, funding formula and transitional protection, average cost per pupil, Conwy-wide and both current schools, and annual running costs of both schools, the condition of school buildings, community impact, any clubs, any extracurriculum activities are currently on both sites, community use of the school facilities, out of school childcare, transport impact, language impact, equality impact, and this document will also share a hard copy, a feedback form, and other ways of submitting this information for us as part of the consultation review. A consultation outcome report will then be prepared and presented to Cabinet for consideration in September 2023, and the aim for the new school would be to open by September 2024. So the options in the paper that we're presenting: permission to commence the consultation on the proposed formal amalgamation of Ysgol Baban Mochtra and Ysgol Custennin, or the decision is to decide not to proceed with the proposed amalgamation. Engagement has already taken place with Councillor Julie as our portfolio holder, and we've also received comments in the report from Councillor Stephen Price as the local member. We've also consulted and had early engagement sessions with the head teacher and governors of both schools and have approved the proposal to consult and are in favour of the amalgamation in principle. Diolch.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Councillor Joe.
Hi, diolch, Chair. Just a couple of questions. Have we had any best practice that we've learned from other schools that have done this? Obviously, Ysgol Llandrillo did this a long time ago. They used to have two heads, and it was obviously on two sites, which it still is, but now under one head. So have we learned anything that we can kind of go along with from there? And also, as far as the children are concerned, what will change for them on their day-to-day school life? Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Joe. Can I come in, Chair? Yes, we have actually learned from good practice, and we've been doing this for some time now, and I'm not sure that if you're aware, but we've got a similar arrangement in Llanfyfechan with Ysgol Babanod Llanfyfechan and Panterhedyn. They haven't been formally amalgamated, but they are amalgamated on two sites, still two separate schools, but work exceptionally well collaboratively. The governing body work very well, and that's been demonstrated recently in two actually inspections that they've just undergone. So an Estyn inspection and a diocese inspection, and there were real examples of good practice that came through in that inspection. So yeah, we have learned from projects that we have run across the local authority, and one thing that is key is working closely with the governing body from a very early stage, getting them to feel a sense of ownership over the school in its entirety, and also working with them so that they are part of the process. And where it hasn't worked as successfully, I think that's probably where we have fallen in the past. So we've definitely learned from that. And I think in terms of what it is for the learners, I think again it's a sense of having that continuity of education through from the Babanod to the Iau, from the infants to the junior. And I think having that, the same uniform, the same logo, collective worship in terms of assemblies, sports days, and just having that continuity of education under that one school name is something that we've had feedback from the learners actually from this setting on. We did have a task and finish group with our previous administration some time ago, and for new elected members, all the documentation is available on that, and that was really interesting because we invited head teachers of different types of schools to the chamber here. It was pre-COVID, to give their experiences of the challenges of this kind of amalgamation, and also some of the areas that they felt were really successful. So we had actually Rhian, who is the current head of Cystennin and Babanad Mochtra. We also invited Matthew Jones as well from our Llanfyfechan setup, and we had learner input as well, and it was really interesting. So we've taken from that task and finish group, and we've taken from the information that was shared, and you know, we've built it into the proposals that we have moving forward. So this isn't a new experience for us. This is something that we've been working on for many years. We're skilled in doing it, we're experienced in doing it, and you know, we've got the paperwork if new elected members are interested to demonstrate that we've learned from steps that we have undertaken previously. I don't know whether John wants to come in.
Yeah, just briefly, if I may, just to echo really what Laurie said, we've also got the Strategic School Planning Group, which is a group that comes together and share obviously good practice, lessons learned, not just on perhaps the project directly, but it could be on curriculum values, finances, HR processes of bringing together schools. The learners are key in any sort of project involving schools, and we get them involved in every stages that we think that they should be and need to be. That could be workshops with learners and pupils. We get them involved in any school logo designs. We put them with school names. The governing body can propose that school names are there, and we work with various departments and third parties to put together these packages of new school logos and new school names and stuff. So the learners are key in every part and every step of the way to any sort of amalgamation that we work together with them.
Diolch both. Sorry, Hannah, can I just come back on that?
Yeah,
thank you. That sounds like you've taken the opportunity to make this a really positive experience, and thank you. I fully support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. That was a great question, really helpful to hear that information and find out what the past experiences have been. Thank you very much. Councillor Dilwyn.
Okay. Diolch am y adroddiad. Mae'n amlwg bod nawyd yn lleol yn Mochtra hyn digwydd, ac gai argymell bod ni'n cymeradwyo'r y cymhelliad fel mae o yn 2-2. Gai gynnig hynny, Cadeirydd. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you for your proposal there. Just before I go further with that, I'm just interested to see if there's any other questions that people might have to get a bit more information. Thank you. Councillor Paul.
I certainly welcome this amalgamation. I think, as other members know, there's been a significant concern of me since being elected last May about surplus capacity in schools and the costs involved in that. Obviously, in these two schools, Babanad and Cystennin, 36% and 21% spare capacity. Welsh Government guidance is 10%. So it's a positive. And as I say, I hope it indicates we are going in the direction now of getting rid of spare capacity. In getting rid of spare capacity. Obviously, as John has said, we're going to get much more detailed information in the consultation document. I'd like to just clarify that all elected members will get a copy of that consultation document, because I think it is important to be fully aware of that detail. I suppose the worry always is where you are amalgamating two schools, but they're on two different sites, the cost benefits of that are limited, because obviously you're running two sites and you've got spare capacity on both sites still. So when you look at heating buildings, cleaning buildings, etc., those cost reductions are not as significant. I mean, it is what it is, but obviously where we can amalgamate schools on one site is a real benefit. And as people know, I've argued since last May that in my own town of Abergele, where we've got 3 schools on the same sites, it does seem to me a nonsense that we are not amalgamating them under one head teacher, because we've got 3 schools actually on the same site. So with those comments, I very much welcome this, but I would want to be reassured that this consultation document is going to all elected councillors.
Thank you. Can you respond to that, please?
Yeah, it is. It's published. We commence the 19th of June, so it'll be live on the website.
That's the consultation and the results of the consultation.
The consultation report will go to Cabinet for consideration in September.
Thank you very much.
Paul? Sorry, it will come through the democratic usual process. So we will be bringing it to Education and Skills and then fortnight later to Cabinet for approval once the consultation window closes. And also just in response to Councillor Paul's comment there, I think the pace of change in terms of progress in looking at our school organisation has been exceptional over the last 13 years. You'll see and you'll note that we will be bringing information on this in a few months' time via informal cabinet. And we have actually been working on 13 projects, which are all completed now, examples of which you can see across the local authority in terms of our new bills and also in terms of our amalgamations. So, you know, I think the pace of change even prior to this administration has been good, and we are continuing with that pace.
Thank you very much. Councillor Paul.
Can I just ask,
briefly?
we get a reminder about when this document is out to elected members?
Okay, I'm sure we can arrange that. Sally, would that be?
Thank you.
Okay? Yes. Yeah, so we can arrange that. So we'll be getting that consultation report here before it goes to Cabinet then. Thank you very much. So Councillor Simon.
Yep, thanks, Chair. I just wanted to say, I hope this consultation involves the parents as well. I'm sure it must. The other question I've got is, can we not, when we do create the new schools and all the new uniforms and everything else, can we not force parents to upgrade and change their child's uniforms unless it's strictly necessary? Because they're moving to the actual different site. In this days of cost of living crisis, that will be most unwelcome to parents, I'm sure, to having to change their uniforms.
Thank you, Simon. You've stolen my question. I was also going to ask what would be the transition arrangement for uniform.
Yeah. Sorry, first question was
about the parents.
Parents, yes, of course, and we'll be promoting when the consultation document is live, and we'll be asking the school to publish that to all parents as well as being on our Conway website and social media. With regards to well, the uniform, yeah, I don't think there'll be any pressure. It'll be the governing body.
And also Welsh Government have just recently released guidance for local authorities and schools in terms of compliance with uniform expectations and also allowing flexibility to parents, you know, in the current economic crisis that we find ourselves in. So that will be a key area. We'll be sensitive to that. But I think what we're really keen to do is to get the learners part of it, to be part of the planning of creating a logo, but we will be very mindful of that, of course, yes.
Is there a way in which the children will be involved in the consultation as well as the parents?
Yeah, there is a child-friendly option as well as part of the consultation process. And of course, we have the school council, so we will be engaging with them as well to get their feedback.
Thank you very much. I've got Councillor Joe with a question there.
Yeah, can I make a proposal, please?
We've already had a proposal.
Oh, can I second that, please?
To make a different proposal.
No, I'd like to second them, please.
Okay, so we've had a proposal from Dilwyn that we accept this recommendation. We now have a seconder from Councillor Joe. Just to be sure there's no further questions or information that you would like to get while we've got our officers present. No, so as I have a proposer and a seconder, I'll go to the vote. So are we happy to vote to accept this recommendation that is on offer here, that we have the consultation on the proposed amalgamation of Ysgol Babanod, Mochtra and Ysgol Castanen? Okay, and there we have, I think I can see all hands up, but I'm just going to check if there's anyone against, please. And any abstentions? No. So I think we're happy with that. Yes, thank you very much. So we're now going to flip back to item 9A, which is Conwy's Welsh in Education Strategic Plan Annual Review Report 22-23. I'm going to ask Lowry, will you introduce this? And then we have Delith Wyn-Jones from the Welsh in Education Advisory Team Coordinator presenting. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Thank you.
and diolch yn fawr. Mae Delith a John ar y sgrin ac am yn tywys ni drwy'r papur prynhawn ma, a wedyn wrth gwrs fydd na gyfle i ofyn unrhyw gwestiynau. Felly dwi'n mynd i basio'n sydd ymlaen i Delith os di hynny'n iawn, Cadeirydd, a wneith hi gyflwyno'r papur. Diolch.
Thank you. Delith?
Diolch yn fawr, Cadeirydd, a diolch am y gwahoddiad i'r cyfarfod heddiw i roi diweddariad i'r aelodau ar hyn a gyflwynwyd dros y flwyddyn addysgol yma a'r camau nesaf gynllun gweithredu cynllun strategol y Gymraeg mewn addysg Conwy. Jyst yn mynd i rannu sgrin efo chi. Jyst er mwyn wneud o'n haws i chi weld y prif bwyntiau felly. Ydy pawb yn gweld y sgrin yn gyntaf?
Yes, thank you.
Iawn. Reit, o ran y Cymraeg mewn addysg, jyst er mwyn amserlen i chi atgoffa chi, mae'r cynllun yn weithredol ers Medi 2022 ac ar wefan gyhoeddus Conwy yn unol ar rheoliadau'r cysga. Mae cynllun gweithredu 5 mlynedd cyntaf wedi cael ei anfon at Llywodraeth Cymru ers Rhagfyr 2022 a mi gafodd y cynllun ei gymeradwyo Mawrth 2023 gydag awgrymiadau ar gyfer y camau nesaf. A wedyn mi fydd adroddiad blynyddol yn cael ei gyflwyno i chi ac yna ymlaen i Llywodraeth Cymru erbyn Gorffennaf 2023. Nodwyd gweinidog y Gymraeg ac addysg yn ei llythyr cymeradwyo pa ymarferion a gwybodaeth sydd angen i ni gwblhau neu goladu yn ystod y flwyddyn gyntaf ein cynllun gweithredu, a pha wybodaeth ychwanegol oedd angen pob dilliant. O ran dilliannau 1-4 roeddent wedi nodi bwriadau clir o ran darpariaeth gofal plant a cydweithio gyda mudiad meithrin ac i gynyddu darpariaeth addysg cyfrwng Cymraeg mewn ysgolion cynradd ac uwchradd yn y sir. Felly gofynnwyd i ni wneud ymarfer mapio nodi meithrin lle mae prinder y phwysau ym mhob sector a cynnwys amserlen ar gyfer cymhletau'r nodau hyn. O ran dilliant 5, roedd enghreifftiau niferus o gydweithio gyda phartneriaid mwyn hyrwyddo ac annog defnydd o'r Gymraeg, ond bod ni angen casglu gwybodaeth dyraniad amser o fewn ysgolion ar gyfer gweithgareddau ysgol tu fewn a thu allan i atgyfnerthu sgiliau iaith Gymraeg. O ran dilliant 6, da ni angen ychwanegu gweithredoedd perthnasol o'r casgliadau adolygiad ADY a neithbwyd. Da ni wrthi'n cydweithio efo swyddogion o fewn yr adran berthnasol rwan i goladu'r wybodaeth yma a'i ychwanegu i'r cynllun gweithredu. Ac o ran dilliant 7, da ni angen dadansoddi canfyddiadau y cyfrifiad blynyddol y gweithlu ysgolion, gan nodi anghenion hyfforddi mhob sector a targeda ar gyfer cynllunio anghenion y gweithlu i wallu gyfynion. A da ni wrthi yn gweithio efo'r adran data sydd goladu'r wybodaeth yna rwan. O ran dilliant 1, da ni'n rhannu gwybodaeth y gyfarfodydd blynyddoedd cynnar a gofal plant cyfredol y sir. Da ni'n rhannu ddiweddariadau drwy'r cyfarfodydd yma. Mae llyfryn marchnata menteriaeth addysg Gymraeg y gorau ddau fyd a pamffledi mudiad meithrin wedi cael ei rhannu gyda pob lleoliad gofal plant a gyda rhieni. Mae mudiad meithrin wedi trefnu ymweliadau blynyddol myfyrwyr gofal plant. Mae yna ystod o eang o gefnogaeth gan wynt i hyrwyddo mentora hyfforddi y rhai sydd yn cynyddu darpariaeth. Ac mae yna raglen newydd rhwng mudiad meithrin a blynyddoedd cynnar Cymru, sef rhaglen plethu canfa croesi'r bont. A mae hynny hefyd ar waith. Diwylliant 3 o ran addysg drochi, mae'r ganolfan iaith yn dal i barhau gyda'i darpariaeth. Da ni wrthi'n dylunio gwefan a diweddaru'r cynllun i gyd-fynd gyda'r newidiadau cenedlaethol. Ac mi ydan ni hefyd yn flaenllaw yn rhan o rwydwaith trochi cenedlaethol sy'n cael ei arwain gan Lywodraeth Cymru i gydweithio efo awdurdodau eraill ar ddarpariaeth trochi o fewn canolfan y iaith ac addysgeg trochi o fewn ysgolion. Wrth gwrs, mae'n grant trochi ni hefyd. Da ni'n cydweithio efo'r ysgolion i gefnogi addysgeg trochi o fewn ysgolion cyfrwng Gymraeg gan gynnwys staff addysgu newydd gymhwyso. Da ni'n cynnwys cefnogaeth trochi ysgolion cynradd sy'n bwydo'r ysgolion megis Dyffryn Conwy gefnogi disgyblion sy'n hwyr ddyfodiad i addysg uwchradd ac hefyd cynyddu darpariaeth cynllun trochi a manteision addysg drochi sy'n bwydo ysgol y Creuddyn. O ran dilliannau 2, 3, 4 a 5, mae rhain yn cydblethu, felly da ni eisiau creu rhyw fath o lwybr y Gymraeg o fewn taith addysgol disgyblion. Felly da ni wedi edrych ar 5 maes i greu cynllun cynhwysfawr i holl ysgolion y sir o fewn clystyra ysgolion. Da ni'n edrych ar weledigaeth, da ni wedi creu ymarfer mapio cychwynnol sy'n adnabod darpariaeth anghenion a chefnogaeth ar gyfer gwarchod a chynyddu darpariaeth cyfrwng Cymraeg yn y sir. Yna sefydlu ethos a gweledigaeth y Gymraeg gyda phob ysgol mwyn sicrhau cysondeb a chydymffurfiaeth i ganllawiau cenedlaethol, a bod yr holl randdeiliaid yn deall ac yn ymrwyddo yn cefnogi ac yn herio yn unol â gofynion cenedlaethol, siraeth a fframwaith arolygu estyn. O ran sgiliau, da ni'n cydweithio efo'r adran ddata i goleuadu gwybodaeth am sgiliau ieithyddol y gweithlu trwy cyfrifiad blynyddol. Da ni'n cydweithio efo Llywodraeth Cymru, Prifysgol Bangor a Dysgu Cymraeg efo sesiynau i ddatblygu sgiliau ieithyddol Cymraeg y gweithlu yn unol â'r fframwaith cymwysedau iaith. Da ni'n bwriadu rhannu gwiriwr iaith Prifysgol Bangor mwyn galluogi staff adnabod ei lefel hyfedredd iaith yn gywir. Ac da ni hefyd yn rhan o gynllun peilot Llywodraeth Cymru efo'r cwmni Say Something in Welsh i trialu app gyda'r disgyblion cam cynnig 3, cynradd ac uwchradd. O ran adnodda, da ni'n edrych wedi seiliad yn hyfforddiannau ar waith ymchwil ac adroddiadau cenedlaethol megis adroddiad thematig estyn ar addysg drochi ac adroddiad caffael iaith. Da ni wedi cynnig pegyn cefnogaeth cynhwysawr cam cynnig 1 i 3 ysgolion cynradd cyfrwng Cymraeg, trosiannol, cyfrwng Saesneg arbennig cyn y cyfeirio, hyfforddiant staff fesul cam a cynnydd i'r ysgolion cynradd fel rhan o waith clwstwr y Gymraeg, megis cwricwlwm trochi, darllen, llenyddiaeth yn tanu a effaith llefarol a cynllun ffoneg Chic-a-Chlic, a da ni'n rhannu'r holl adnoddau trwy drwyddithio hwb. Mae'r cymhelliant hefyd, da ni wedi cynnal ymweliadau arfer dda, gwersi enghreifftiol yn dosbarthiadau gan athrawon arbenigol iaith, cefnogaeth trochi, ysgolion yn derbyn arweiniad pontio cynradd ac uwchradd trwy rwydweithio rhanbarth, cydweithio efo ysgolion mewn awdurdodau eraill ar draws Cymru drwy ymweliadau ac drwy hyfforddiant cenedlaethol Cydag, ysgolion uwchradd cyfrwng Cymraeg yn rhwydweithio'n effeithiol efo ysgolion Gwynedd, ac ymwybyddiaeth manteision y Gymraeg yn y byd gwaith trwy gydweithio rhanddeiliad allweddol megis Coleg Llandrillo Menai a Gyrfa Cymru. Wedyn ymlaen, mae hyn i gyd yn bwydo fewn i gynllun gweithredu sy'n mapio'r daith ieithyddol ym mhob clwstwr, ac bydd hyn yn cynnwys pecyn cefnogaeth o ran hyfforddiant, adnodda, datblygu sgiliau'r gweithlu. Byddan ni'n cydweithio raglen bwrpasol sy'n cynnwys tîm cefnogi cyn ysgol, mudiad meithrin, tîm ymgynghorol Cymraeg mewn addysg a mentra iaith, ar urdd ac yn y blaen. A wedyn, o ran yn camau nesaf rwan i weithredu hyn, mae angen monitro effaith yr hyfforddiannau a'r adnoddau yn yr ysgolion, monitro'r disgyblion sy'n trosglwyddo i addysg gyfrwng Gymraeg, a bod nhw ddim yn newid cyfrwng iaith, wrth bontio'r cynnod i'r uwchradd. Parhau fod yn flaenllaw yn y rhwydweithiau cenedlaethol Llywodraeth Cymru ar gategoreiddio a trochi. Rhan o'r Pwyllgor Cenedlaethol Cydag Cynradd, ac mae gennym ni ymarfer i gyladu gwybodaeth dan drafodaeth yn genedlaethol. Dilliant 5, mae hwn yn bwydo fewn o ran siarter iaith a Cymraeg campus i'r dilliannau blaenorol. Mae gennym ni ysgol uwchradd cyfrwng Saesneg yn pelota Cymraeg campus yn yr uwchradd ac yn dilyn cydweithio efo'r tîm yn gynghorol Gymraeg. Bydd yn arwain ysgolion eraill o'r sefydlu'r drefn ac yn astudiaeth achos gan y rhanbarth hefyd. Da ni rhannu unrhyw ddiweddiadau gwybodaeth drwy gyfarfodydd tymhorol Fforwm Iaith Conwy a'r llyfryn gweithgareddau Menter Iaith wedi rhannu gyda'r ysgolion drwy newyddion ysgolion. Mae'r ysgolion dal i barhau weithredu siarter iaith a Cymraeg campus fel rhan o weithdrefnau'r ysgolion, ac mae'r sir hefyd yn rhannu gwybodaeth am weithgareddau i'r gymuned megis Music Cymru drwy'r wefan Cymraeg i bawb Conwy. Mae gweithgaredd map a bwlch ar lefel dwyieithrwydd ar draws y gwasanaeth ar waith ac yn rhan o'r dyletswydd statudol ADY. Da ni'n cyfrannu wan trafodaethau wedyn yn dilyn y canfyddiadau ar y Gymraeg i'r cysga, ac da ni'n cynnwys yr uned ysgol arbennig ar unedau cyfeiriad disgyblion yn rhan o waith clwstwr y Gymraeg o dan ofalaeth tîm yn gynghorol y Gymraeg mewn addysg, a mae gwybodaeth a diweddariadau am y Gymraeg yn cael ei rhannu trwy newyddion ysgolion. Ac yn olaf, dilliant 7, da ni'n cydweithio efo Prifysgol Bangor a dysgu Cymraeg efo sesiynau blasu a gwersi dysgu Cymraeg i'r sgiliau gweithlu, hyfforddiannau i ddatblygu sgiliau ieithyddol ar gyfer cyflwyno'r cwricwlwm trwy hyfforddiannau'r tîm yn gynghorol y Gymraeg, hyrwyddo a chefnogi athrawon a chymorthyddion sydd o'r cynllun sabothol, a mi fyddwn ni'n rhannu gwirfoddoliaeth Prifysgol Bangor. Yn targed ni, felly, da ni'n un o 8 awdurdod ar draws Cymru sydd wedi adnabod y dull categoreiddio fel fodd o gynyddu darpariaeth cyfrwng Cymraeg. Felly dyna pan da ni ar y rhwydwaith trochi cenedlaethol o dan law gyrweiniad Llywodraeth Cymru. Da ni'n cydweithio'n genedlaethol efo addysg drochi hwyr fel y Canolfan y Iaith, trochi, creuddyn a Dyffryn Conwy yn ogystal â dillio trochi ar lawr dosbarth. Felly wrth symud ymlaen, marchnata chweddistrwydd, da ni yn ychwanegu a diweddaru gwefan gyhoeddus y sir ac yn rhannu unrhyw waith marchnata diweddariadau yn lleol a chenedlaethol yn ymwneud ag addysg Cymraeg a bod yn ddwyieithog. Da ni ar ganol diweddaru polisi Cymraeg mewn addysg a trafodaethau ar waith gyda'r adrannau perthnasol. Da ni'n ymgyrffori awgrymiadau llywodraeth yn y cynllun. Da ni wrthi rwan wrth wneud y llwybr dysgu'r iaith efo'r clystyra. Fydda ni rhoi amserlen cynllun gweithredu lefel uchel mynyddoch i'r ysgolion a cwblhau'r gweithgaredd mapio. A wedyn, pan fydda ni wedi derbyn templed yr adroddiad gan y Llywodraeth, mi fydda ni'n coladu'r wybodaeth gyda'r un ddogfen a yrru Llywodraeth erbyn diwedd Gorffennaf. Ac ai jyst ategu ar ddiwedd hyn hefyd, fel ydych chi'n ymwybodol, mae'r ymgynghoriad papur gwyn ar waith rwan tan Mehefin yr 15, ac mae'r gwaith yda ni'n gwneud yn gydblethu hwn. Da ni'n sir flaenllaw o ran y pwyntiau sy'n cael eu codi yn y papur, ac maen nhw'n cefnogi ac yn cryfhau y pethau sydd ar waith ac yn gweithio yma yng Nghonwy yn barod. Ac yn ddiolchgar iawn i chi fel cynghorwyr am eich cefnogaeth gyda'r holl waith wrth symud ymlaen gyda'r cysga. Diolch yn fawr, ac da ni'n barod i unrhyw sylwadau neu gwestiynau.
Thank you very much, Jalif. That was a lot of detail for us to take on there. Thank you very much for everything that you've told us there. I've got one question, if you don't mind me asking that first of all, which is to do with the, well, it's two, the immersion. I take it this is done from year 6 to year 7. I might be wrong. And I wondered how many of our pupils were involved in the immersion programme.
We've got quite a few immersion programmes in place. Canolfan Iaith Conwy, we've got up to 12 pupils who are latecomers to Welsh medium schools within the authority who are between the ages of 7 and 11. They attend for a term at the Ganolfan Iaith. They have pre-centre support and they have aftercare support from the staff as well back in the school. With trochi craving, the numbers did dip during COVID, but they are back on track now. So we've got about 35, I believe, this year on the trochi craving. And I know we've got Mr. Gethin Davis here today, the head of Dyffryn Conwy, who's also the chair of the Cysga Forum. He's here as well with the trochi they've got in Dyffryn Conwy. I don't know, Gethin, if you want to come in here and explain what's happening in Dyffryn Conwy.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, we also support some of the trochi learners. We start them early, so we have got some learners from Ysgol Talhaearn and other of our feeder schools now from years 4, 5 and 6. So we are starting them early with the immersion programme, and then we've got a group of learners now starting next Monday with an intense immersion programme here over this last term before they transfer here to Ysgol Dyffryn Conwy in September.
Thank you very much, Gethin. Thank you, Delith. My other question was, I wondered how many teachers were involved in the sabbaticals?
The numbers for the sabbaticals are limited. We're allowed 14 teachers per course from across the consortia. So therefore we target according, as a team, we contact the schools. It's part of their plan where we target. There are different aspects. There's a 1-year course, intensive course, which is all paid for by Welsh Government. So they are having staff to cover for the year. They have all the costs paid for that. They then have 3 sections to the course. So if some people have done the first part of the course and they feel they're ready to progress on to intermediate level, or they need to transfer to the last part just to advance to the advanced level, then they have opportunities just to do a term on the sabbatical. But they do have the information for the sabbatical. We share information with Bangor University, and then they do all the contact with the schools, and they have interviews prior to attending to see which course is relevant for them. So all that work is done directly with Bangor University.
Thank you very much, Delith. Do we have any other questions? I can see a few hands up, so I'm going to go for Councillor Tristram first of all.
Diolch yn fawr iawn a diolch Delith am yr adroddiad hynod gynhwysfawr. Y deilliant 1, y llyfryn sydd yn mynd allan i rieni, dwi'n meddwl bod hwnna Delith yn di ar y cyd efo menter iaith. Oes unrhyw adborth am hwnna, achos dwi'n gwybod na ofn mwyaf rhieni di-Gymraeg ydy bod nhw'n gallu rhoi cymorth i'r dysgwyr, i'w plant, yr ofnadwyeth mae nad oes gen nhw am bod gen nhw ddim yr iaith, bod nhw'n gallu helpu fel tai. A wedyn dwi'n meddwl bod y llyfryn yna'n gwbl allweddol os da ni yn mynd i hyrwyddo'r Gymraeg, yn mynd i gael chwaneg o bobl i ddysgu Cymraeg, ynde? Wedyn, os unrhyw adborth ynglyn â'r llyfryn yna, ac os e bosib hyrwyddo hyd yn oed yn fwy, achos dwi'n gwybod yn ward i, dydy o ddim wastad yn cyrraedd dil o'r rhieni, ynde?
Da ni wedi cael adborth penodol ar y llyfryn, ond dwi'n gwybod mae gen i digwydd bod gyfarfod bore dydd Iau yma efo'r criw gofal plant, a felly mi wna i ategu a codi hynny farchnad. Mi nathon nhw sôn bod y llyfryn wedi cael ei ddannu efo pawb, ond mi wna i wneud yn siŵr bod y mater yn cael ei codi eto Cynghorydd Tristram ar eich rhan chi.
Diolch yn fawr.
Gai jyst ddod i fewn ag ategu yn fanna, mae bob rhiant yn dalgylch Dyffryn Conwy blwyddyn 5 a 6 fydd ar nhw dderbyn copi o'r llythyr yn benodol ysgolion lle oedden ni'n ymwybodol bod yna ddisgyblion yn amlwg yn dod o ddilio di-Gymraeg. Mae yna ddigonedd o gopïau yn yr ysgolion o ran yn ysgol un fama wedi cael ei rhannu efo ni, a digonedd i fynd allan i'r flwyddyn nesaf, a copi digidol ar gael ar wefan yn ysgol ni hefyd.
Thank you, Tristan, Gethin and Della for that. I'm going to go to the screen now, so I've got Councillor Joe, and then we'll come back into the chamber for Councillor Gwennell. Councillor Joe, please.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. Do you ever take the opportunity to use the more advanced learners, the children advanced learners, to teach the younger ones, and they can see what's achievable? Obviously, some of these more advanced ones will have moved into Wales and have learnt Welsh from scratch, and for the younger ones to be able to see what's achievable will be quite powerful. Thank you.
Yes, they do. Within the schools, they do have opportunities. They do use the older pupils within the school to support younger learning. A lot of this is done, is general practice really in any school, but whatever language they use, even the schools that are learning Welsh, the category 1 schools, they do use the older pupils. They come down to read stories with them. They use them as yard buddies to support them on the yard. So we do make opportunities and we give them the experiences and planned experiences of how and when to use the language as well.
Diolch.
Thank you. Councillor Gwennell.
Gain gynta ganmol Delyth. A'r tîm bychan iawn sydd gennych chi Delyth am eich gwaith arloesol. Delyth, sawl aelod sydd gen ti yn y tîm?
2 yna ni sy'n y tîm. Mi oedd gyda ni dîm o 7 ar un adeg, gyda ni lawr 2 rwan.
Felly, efo 2 aelod yn eich tîm, mae'r gwaith ydych chi'n neud yn anhygoel. Mae gennych chi weledigaeth, ydych chi wedi rannu o fewn eich tîm, a mae o yn amlwg yn gyrru pethau ni blaenau. Mae'n y gydweithio o fewn y sir, a ydych chi'n gweithio efo awdurdodau eraill. Ydych chi'n cynnig gwasanaeth gwych i ysgolion a cefnogaeth gwych i ysgolion, a mae gennych chi gynllun gweithredu cynhwysfawr, a hefyd ydych chi'n monitro effaith. A mi fedra i dystio hefyd Delyth am y gwaith arloesol sy'n digwydd yn y ganolfan iaith. Fel ydych chi'n gwybod, mae'n ei deulu yn y ward i ddari symud o efo'r newid beth amser yn ôl, a wedi bod trwy'r ganolfan drochi, a maen nhw'n gwbl rigil yn y Gymraeg ac wedi mynd i ysgol Dyffryn Conwy. Felly, mae'r gwaith ydych chi'n neud yn werthfawr iawn. Mae gen i 2 gwestiwn. Un cwestiwn cyntaf ydy bob ysgol a llywodraethwyr pob ysgol yn ymwybodol o bwysigrwydd y ddogfen yma a goblygiadau o beidio gweithredu yn unol a gofynion y ddogfen? Na i ofyn i chi ateb hwnna gyntaf.
Da ni wedi rhoi cyflwyniad i'r Cymdeithas Llywodraethwyr y Sir. Mae'r cadeirydd Cynghorydd Don Milne yn rhan o'r fforwm Cymraeg mewn addysg. Rhaid i mi ymateb siomedig oedd y rhai y nifer oedd wedi mynychu'r sesiwn ar y Gymraeg, ond mi yda ni yn trio gwthio hyn drwy gwaith clwstwr rwan yn yr ysgolion. Mi yda ni hefyd yn rhoi y pwyslais o ran gwaith Siarter Iaith y Cymraeg Campus. Mae yna lywodraethwr penodedig ar gyfer y Gymraeg i fod ar gyfer pob ysgol fel rhan o'r gwaith Siarter y Cymraeg a Campus ym mhob ysgol. Felly mae'r gwaith dal i fwrw ymlaen, ond nid all y gellir gwell, mi da ni dal yn bwrw ymlaen efo'r agenda yma.
A dyn yr ail gwestiwn oedd gennai, ynghlwm â hynny ddweud y gwir, ydych chi'n sôn bod am y disgwyliadau, be mae bob ysgol wedi wneud ac yn y blaen, bod gen y lywodraethwr cyswllt i'r Siarter Iaith ac i'r Gymraeg. Yn amlwg, efo tîm o 2, fedrwch chi ddim monitro beth sy'n digwydd ym mhob ysgol. Felly, swn i'n gofyn y cwestiwn, beth ydy rôl y consortiwm rhanbarthol, sef GWE? Faint o gydweithio sydd rhwng GWE a fforwm Cysga Conwy?
Mae ganddo ni gynrychiolydd o'r rhanbarth ar y fforwm. Mi ydyn ni'n cael cyfarfodydd sirol, da ni'n ail atgyfodi cyfarfodydd rhwng prif swyddog cynradd ac uwchradd GWE efo'r tîm Cymraeg i ddiweddaru o ran ysgolion. Ond mi ydw i'n ymwybodol nag dydy y Gymraeg ddim yn linell ymholiad ar ymweliadau GWE i ysgolion. Ac mae hynny yn peripryder i mi, ac mi ydw i eisiau cydweithio am mireinio hyn a cryfhau hyn ymellach wrth symud ymlaen.
I ddod yn ôl, Delyth, mae hynny'n concern i mi hefyd, yn enwedig pan da ni'n sôn am werth am arian. Mae gan pob ysgol swyddog cyswllt o gen yr consortiwm, a dwi'n meddwl chi'n bod fyna ofyniad fan hyn i gael adrodd i'r pwyllgor yma, be ydy safon y Gymraeg a pa mor dda mae ysgolion yn perfformio tuag at wneud cynnydd yn y Gymraeg, a hynny'n dod falle i chi gen swyddog gwe.
Cytuno.
Diolch, Hannah.
Thank you, Gwenol. Very interesting to hear about your family from New York. Really impressive story there. And also quite interesting to hear that we've got a team that's gone from 7 to 3. And that they're achieving so much. So extremely well done to you, Daleth, and your team for what you're achieving. I believe Councillor Simon had his hand up, but it's you still.
I did, Chair, but I think my questions have been answered. I'm really pleased to hear the promotion of the Welsh language is going so well, considering the resources that are behind it, because I think the undoubted benefits really can't be communicated enough to parents and pupils.
Thank you. In the room, I've got Councillor Dilwyn.
Dim ond yn fyr cadeirydd, sgynna i'm cwestiwn, ond mae gynna i hefyd eisiau gwerthfawrogi gwaith sy'n cael ei wneud, ac hefyd y cefnogaeth bellach sy'n cael ei rhoid i ddwyieithrwyr o fewn yn ysgolion ni. Mae o'n hanfodol bwysig, ac mae yna fwy a fwy o bobl yn gweld bellach be di'r manteision o ddwyieithrwydd, ac mi roedd gwylio Steddfod yr Urdd wythnos dwytha sydd yn amserol iawn i hwn yn dangos yn glir be oedd y manteisrwydd o gael addysg dwyieithoedd yn ysgolion, ac fel oedd plant na fasol fel arall ddim wedi wrach siarad yr iaith ac ddim wedi cael y cyfle i uno yn y gweithgareddau yn Steddfod yr Urdd wythnos dwytha, a gweld fel nhw yn mwynhau ysgolion o'r sir yma hefyd. Un ysgol gynradd, dwi'n gofio, nes i modd o'i gyd, ond mae'n heiddi i henwi oedd ysgol, mae wedi cael ei henwi'n gynharach, ysgol Llanfair Talhaearn, lle dwi'n meddwl bod nhw ar llwyfan efo 3 neu 4 cystadleuaeth o ysgol gynradd o adran dysgwyr sy'n arbennig o dda. Felly, ia, dalwch ymlaen o'r gwaith da iawn. A gai unwaith eto gymeradwyo ar argymhelliad.
Thank you very much. Do I have anybody else that would like to comment? Anyone online? Okay, Councillor Paul.
Thank you for letting me speak, Chair. The booklet that Tristan referred to, is it possible for that to be forwarded to all councillors?
Yes, I'm certain we can sort that out.
Thank you.
Okay, can I jump in as well? I have put one in every councillor's pigeonhole in the members' room as well.
Recently? Great.
Diolch. I will have been to my pigeonhole recently, so.
Two other questions. Delith referred to the Welsh Government template and the mapping report, and if I heard her right, she said we'd be getting a further report this July. Will that report come to this committee?
Yes, we'll ensure the skeleton of the report I've given to you today. Hopefully we'll have more information and data to include in the report by the end of July as well.
Thank you. And the third question, I understand about the secondments, and in a school I'm a governing body of, we have a teacher at the moment on secondment. She'll be coming back in September, and I understand there's 14 across the county. Just on that, do we track, in a sense, these secondees' careers? Not that we can do much about the decision making they make, but I think it would be interesting to see. And I'm not sure how long this secondee program's been going on, but I think it would be interesting to see, you know, without impinging on their sort of confidentiality, but if we could see how these secondees over the years, you know, overall are contributing to Conway. Obviously, they can go wherever they like in the world to teach, but in a sense, it would be if it's not too time consuming, it would be an interesting exercise to see, because it is very significant, the Welsh Government funding for this. So it'd be interesting to see how it works out in reality.
Yes, thank you, Councillor. And even though we do keep a record of all attendees, the ones that we still have that have followed the programme within Conwy, previously they had no Welsh, and they are now emailing me, contacting me, and chatting to me through the medium of Welsh, and it's come second nature to them after following the sabbatical course. So we are in discussions to try and keep these sessions informal sessions as well, to keep the language going with them, because they don't use it every day. And I do think we can make use of these staff to help other staff in developing their Welsh, and maybe looking at professional development as well, and how we plan that for the future.
Thank you very much. Do we have any? Oh, I've got Aaron, you, Councillor.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Cadeirydd. A gai yna hefyd diolch I Delys a'r tîm am y gwaith maen nhw'n wneud. Dwi jyst eisiau gwneud sylw, really, pa mor galonogol ydy hi yn gweld cefnogaeth cynghorwyr tuag at addysg Gymraeg ac i'r Gymraeg yn gyffredinol. Dwi'n cael yn considero fel hen law fel cynghorydd erbyn hyn, a mae'r agwedd wedi newid yn sylweddol dros y 6 blynedd dwytha. Felly, diolch I chi, ynde, dwi'n diolchgar am hynny. A sy'n ni hefyd, Cadeirydd, yn licio, falle bod ni'n medru trefnu I chi ymweld â'r ganolfan trochi yn Dolgarrog. Mae werth I gweld. Dwi wedi bod yna'n ddiweddar, a mae cael siarad efo dysgwyr yn Gymraeg yn dipyn o beth. So, sy'n awgrymu chi fynd I weld hwnnw yn Dolgarrog. Diolch.
Diolch. Well, I'd like to go, definitely. Anything that can help me improve would be gratefully received. Thank you very much. Do we have any further questions? Thank you.
Diolch. Gai diolch hefyd am yn gwestai Mr Owain Gethin Davies am ymuno hefo ni heddiw ac am gyfrannu tuag at y drafodaeth. Mae Gethin wrth gwrs yn bennaeth Ysgol Dyffryn Conwy, a hefyd yn gadeirydd yr fforwm iaith sydd gynnon ni yn ganolog, ac yn rhan allweddol hefyd I ddatblygiad yr cysga ac yn cydweithio'n agos gyda Delys a'r tîm. Felly diolch Gethin, diolch am ymuno pnawn 'ma.
Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Yes, thank you very much, Gethin, for joining us, and thank you very much, Daleth, for that. So we did have a proposal from Councillor Dilwyn that we accept the recommendations. The recommendations are that members note and approve the content of the Conwy West Action Plan, and that members continue to support and promote the Conwy West Action Plan and the work of all the key stakeholders. So do I have a seconder? Councillor Gwennell and Councillor Tristan fighting there to be the seconder on that. I think a few of us would support that as well. So can I take that to the vote, please? There we go. I think that's pretty unanimous there. Thank you very much. Thank you again for those people that have attended today. Thank you for coming in and sharing your knowledge and your hard work and your expertise with us. I have nothing further to add to this meeting today, so thank you very much. I thank you for attending, and I hope you enjoy the sunshine today. Goodbye.
Diolch, Gadeirydd.